Last week I was at my girlfriend's house and she was showing me her massive cabinet of DVDs that she's had since her childhood. She was picking up various DVDs and telling me quotes from the movies, talking about how much she loved them and shared specific memories each movie was associated with. And it made me reflect on my own movie watching history. Hello, my name is Pavel and welcome back to my channel. So far this year I've watched 153 movies. For context, when I'm writing the script it's the 13th of April. For me, 153 movies is a lot. Comparing it to last year, by the end of the 1st of April I watched around 60 to 70 movies, and the year before that it was even less. And as I was flicking through my diary of watched movies, I realized that in all of those 153 movies I rewatched none. Well, that's actually a bit of a lie. I watched Superbad with my girlfriend on the TV, but it was just on and I was like, why not? So I'm not really gonna count that. Looking at my diary and realizing I rewatched nothing got me thinking, why have I stopped rewatching movies? Is it stupid to rewatch movies over and over? And finally, will this change for me? Will I start rewatching movies again? And what changed? What happened? Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. But a quick spoiler, rewatching movies is not stupid, obviously. I've just kind of used that name for the thumbnail and title just to, clickbait. Growing up, I was absolutely obsessed with two movies. It's a bit of a strange combination, but the first movie was Cars, and alongside Cars, it was Scary Movie 2. I know, it's a bit of a strange mix, but for some reason, I was just absolutely obsessed with those two movies. I had them on DVD, I watched them all the time, I just loved them. If you don't know anything about me, then English is not my first language, and watching movies and listening to music was crucial in my language development, so it makes sense why I'm able to almost quote all of Scary Movie 2. As embarrassing as that is, it actually helped me, and I haven't watched those movies in years, so maybe I'll make a video where I rewatch them because I loved Scary Movie 2, but I bet you it has not aged well at all. Then, into my teenage years, this is when I got quote unquote into movies. I was introduced to Donnie Darko, and I remember thinking, whoa, this is the deepest movie ever, and if I rewatch it 10 times and understand everything, then I'm gonna be smarter than everybody else. Yep. Then came the big names: Fight Club, the Grand Budapest Hotel, Lady Bird, and so on. You know the story. If you're into movies in any way, you understand. And with these movies, although there were only a handful of them, I watched them religiously, over and over, like every single week, sometimes multiple times a week. I loved those few movies. I truly loved them, and I spent so much time with them. And I guess I kind of missed that because now it's not happening, and I really want to try figure out why. Over the past few years, especially the last two, I think, I've gotten really into movies. Emphasis on think, because the more I get into movies, the more I realize I know less and less, but I'll get back to that soon. But by getting really into film, I mean I try watch movies from any country I can get my hands on, movies from any decade, any director, and I really try push my boundaries of what I used to consider quote unquote normal films. I try watch movies that experiment with form, try redefine narrative expectations, and overall do something entirely different. As pretentious as that sounds, but I really do love all of that stuff. I love just finding new things. I've watched movies from the Czech New Wave, movies from Iran, movies from Lithuania, movies from the 20s, 30s, and so on, and I'm really trying to push myself. I had these ideas what quote-unquote normal movies were, and pushing outside of that is so important to me, and movies mean a lot to me, and getting to know film more means a lot to me, as pretentious as that sounds. Again, this is such a pretentious video, but it's fine. Let's just go with it. If you're anything like me, you know, the more you dive into something, the more you realize, damn, I'm never going to be able to watch all of these movies that I want to watch. It's the same with movies, it's the same with music, it's the same with everything. If you dive into something and you're so passionate about it, then you realize there's just not enough time. I don't know how I'm going to be able to engage with all this. It's fun. But anyway, let's say you find a movie, you like it, you check out the director. The director has 15 movies, but they've also worked with another director, and you kind of like this new director. They have another 15 movies, and so on and on and on. It's never ending. And I need to emphasize this right now. This is absolutely incredible. It's such a great feeling knowing that I'm never going to run out of movies. Every single week, I find something that reminds me of how much I adore movies. And comparing this to 5 years ago when I thought I had watched every single great movie, it's great. And how stupid I was. I remember sitting down and trying to find a movie and be like, okay, well, I've watched Gone Girl and I've watched Fight Club, so really I've kind of watched like every great movie out there, so I don't really understand what I'm meant to watch now. I'm going to watch a black and white movie? Pfft, come on. But there's also a toxic side to all of this. Movie communities online online, whether it's movie talk or Twitter movie groups or whatever they're called. I feel like I sound like such a granddad. Anyway, they can foster a toxic environment. There's this sense of elitism that's created where people flaunt their knowledge of obscure films while deriding anything mainstream. And let me say, flaunting your knowledge of movies is super cool. Nothing wrong with that at all, unless you're a person that belittles other people who are not like you. It's a constant barrage of judgment making you question your own taste and knowledge. The more you engage with it, the more it feeds into this never-ending cycle of self-doubt. It's not healthy, and it's something that definitely gets to me all the time. Alongside that, the more I engage with it, the more I realize I feel more guilty whenever I want to watch a quote-unquote mainstream movie. Like, I really need to emphasize this. Sometimes I feel like I need to just watch something meaningful, whatever that means. It's stupid, but I'm not going to talk about that in this video. Let's save that for another week. We need these huge mainstream movies like Barbie, because even though it's not the most deep movie in the world, it shares a solid message. And if somebody watches like 5 movies a year and Barbie is one of them, it's a win. Equally, we need movies not so many people have heard of, because they're the movies that push film and make it refreshing, engaging, and it breathes life into cinema. But why with all of this do I still feel guilty whenever I consider watching a movie like The Banshees of Inisherin? I think there's just too many movies and not enough time, and I feel like if I don't try watch them all, I'll never be into film, whatever that means. But even writing the script, reflecting on the fact that it's an impossible feat, makes me want to readjust my mindset when it comes to movies. Realistically, as corny as it sounds, it's the journey of watching movies that's important. There's no end goal, and surely your journey should be whatever you want it to be. You're still a movie fan if you watched La La Land 27 times, or if you're into black and white Norwegian movies from the 20s and you watch them like it's your job, it's fine. And I think the guilt just shouldn't be there. I feel like you should watch whatever you want to watch without feeling guilty and having it eat away at you. I know this is like a very personal video essay if you can't tell, but it's been on my mind for so long and I feel like I just needed to get it off my chest. So to wrap it all up and answer the stupid question, rewatching movies is obviously not stupid. Rewatching movies helps us find things we might have missed the first time, noticing subtle details and gaining brand new insights into characters and themes. It's about reliving emotions that matter to us so much, revisiting the worlds that captured our imagination, and reconnecting with stories that are so important to us. Each rewatch offers us a chance to deepen our understanding, strengthen our appreciation, and reaffirm our love for movies. So, rewatch movies again and again and again, cherish the memories they bring out, and continue to find comfort and inspiration in the familiar. Because in the end, rewatching movies isn't just special, it's a testament to the enduring power of cinema. I feel like that sounded really pretentious, but that's everything I have to say. Go rewatch the movies and let me know what you've been rewatching. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.